A lot of the time we miss out on a lot of information because we don't take the time to have a live conversation. Now, there are certainly remote workplaces now which have been a big thing since recent times. And the idea of having a live conversation is a little bit less likely than it used to be, where you could get up from the desk and walk over to someone else and have a conversation. So I think what we want to do is we want to bring to our awareness that we need to have more in-depth live conversations face to face wherever we can. Now, Life Puzzle, we're a remote team and we often use a technology to have a live conversation, whether it be Zoom or any one of our communication channels. We have a way of doing that, which is important, because when you do that, you lose tone. And it's very difficult, no matter how good you are at your emoji selection, it's very difficult to add tone into the conversation. So when we don't have that tone, then we're leaving things to be a little bit ambiguous, and the person can make up their own decisions or perceptions when this person's being a bit passive aggressive. That's a bit inappropriate, or what are they saying? Who are they blaming here? And I think this is what leads to that lack of trust, is that there's a void around the communication. And we know that if we don't fill the void with communication ourselves, the person we're communicating will fill the void with what they think. And that often comes back down to mistrust or concerns. And that comes to the second part of that, as your values as a leader, as a team member, as a business owner, maybe even department head. What's important to you is happening out of your awareness in your communication. So let's say that right now, you're under a bit of pressure, financial pressure, you're behind on budgets, activities are down. Maybe you've had a call from your higher up saying, what's going on with your team? You need to sort of discuss this. This is the budget. You're a little bit short on this. All right. So this is all the conversation that's happening outside of the team. And of course, now this leader is walking the workplace and walking the team with an unconscious bias, as I need to work out what's gone wrong here. There's things going wrong in the team. They're not doing what they should be doing. My backside's on the chopping board here. What's going on? So therefore, unconsciously, out of their awareness, their focus is on their values of being able to integrity, following through and getting what they want, the results, going through and doing that. And they're going to communicate that information, that intention, in a way that may not necessarily be clear to the people who are getting it. Like, oh, gee, what happened to George? All of a sudden, all he's in about our budgets. He doesn't even say good morning and here's a coffee anymore. He's just like going, why are we up to? Why are we behind? Like, what's going on there? And then people don't realize that all of a sudden then they start their secondary guessing, like, oh, gee whiz, have I not been doing my job? Or maybe I need to, who's been backpedaling what's going on here? And have I missed something? And then all of a sudden the fear comes up, and then the stress comes up. And all of a sudden we've got a workplace which is fostering a culture which is not productive. And it all just happened because someone was coming in with the right intention, to be able to get it up, but hasn't been able to get that message across, or unconsciously bias. And an example of that is that I was talking to a leader, and they were communicating through their channels in the workplace, being digital, and it was through Teams. And it was a potential situation where a really good quality customer was on the edge of leaving and going somewhere else. And this leader had told the account manager to get on the phone and call them and find out what's going on and to get ahead of this problem. And he got a response back in Teams going, it's all good. They're happy. They're just a bit quiet. And he said, yeah, how did the phone call go? He said, I just sent an email. And he said, get on the phone and call them. And 5 minutes later, how'd the phone call go? It's all good. I didn't call him. And then he said in Teams, for once in your life, will you just do what I say? And I said, this is an interesting communication, right? But there's got no why, no context behind why you want to find this out, right? They're just thinking you're barking at them. You have done management, not leadership. You've told someone to do without selling them why they need to do it, what's in it for them. And then the results you've got is it's frustration. And you've had 20 minutes of dialogue backwards and forwards of not quality conversation, and still lost the customer.